I woke up this morning and I had a dream. I wanted to share it with you. In this dream, I felt the birth, like when you're born, that freedom that a child has, that natural innocence, that love and that just joy and laughter. They just giggle and laugh at things. And then through the years, we tend to perceive things of our parents, of our peers, of our family, of our environment. And this was my dream. And in the dream, I felt like when you're born, it's like you get a ticket to a round trip around the world. And then you've got this excitement, and you've got, your luggage that you take with you, and you are all so super excited for the adventures that come across your way. But in the adventures, you might lose your luggage. Your ticket might be postponed. You might be stranded in a country that you don't know. The analogy of it was, the dream was both about life and the trip. Like, we're excited about life, but then when storms come our life, financial issues, just things that come along your way that that tamper the dream, that might stain the dream. But they're not there to stain it there. They're there to teach you, because life is a journey, and the journey is the experience of living. And so, you as you lose your luggage, you lose all this stuff. But what it felt like in my dream, it was like the birth, and then along the way, the luggage came. And the luggage of my own life, the luggage of my ancestors, the luggage of my parents, the luggage of my family. And then finally, in the dream, my grandfather reminded me of what he used to tell me about when a child is born. They're born with their hands closed because they want everything in life. They want it all. But when the old man dies, he dies with his hands open, because he leaves it all here. So in the dream, it was like we're going to a destination. We've been told about a destination, but the destination really isn't the life. It's the experience along the way and the joy of living. And so we try to keep that joy of living as a child. It depends on your circumstances, what you're born with, what comes along your way, how you live, how you perceive it, cleaning that perception. The father of motivation, Wayne Dyer, his ultimate saying was, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. You change your perception. So how do we address someone who's been wounded as a child or abandoned as a child? How do we change that perception? How do we crack that shell that we've created within our inner self? Love changes. Love can break down barriers. The love for yourself, that's the key. In the dream, it was the love for myself. Ultimately, we become the journey. Not we are at the journey, we become the journey. We are not defined by the journey, we are refined by the journey. So it's with the baggages and losing it and being in another world, in another country, not knowing the language, and that fear that comes upon us, and how are we going to manage now? Do I have enough money? Can I get there? And there is always a way. If we trust that God has a plan, and in that plan there is the answer. just trusting. And it's when we try and do it in our own strength, we lose. But when we do it in God's strength and through God, if you want the universe, whatever is yours, mine is God, then you trust. And in that trusting comes the answer. And ultimately the journey we are finding, and in the dream, it was ultimately the journey was in finding myself, coming home to me. And I had a dream, in another dream was that I was in my mum and dad's old neighborhood as probably about 5 or 6. And this is really huge. The dream was super. There's a little girl in the paddock and my mum and dad, and it was me. I was about 5 or 6. And it was me also in the dream of where now. I grabbed her hand and I said to her, I'm taking you home. How wonderful is a dream like that? And that was when I was coming to my own and coming into my own. And it's like the journey when you come back from a massive trip around the world and you come home and you're so excited to have the same smells of your home. But when you leave, you know, you stuff this, I don't want to be around here, I want to go. I just want to go. But when you're so happy to come home, that is in the same context that happiness is when you come home to yourself, is finding you. And when you find you, there's the God within you. And that's the ultimate place of finding that true essential happiness, where it's not about wealth, of material wealth, but it's the richness of you, the richness of your life, and the richness of what you bring to you and to the people that are around you, and to a sense of belonging. We all need to belong. That's why I wrote the book, my 5th book. It was a book about Rosie. So it's about her sense of belonging and finding her inner core of herself. And when she found herself, she was happy. It ultimately is, you have to live with yourself. We have to live with our choices. That's hard knocks. That's the city of hard knocks, the school of hard knocks. Learning to live with your choices and navigating through them. And as you navigate, you learn lessons and tools along the way. And it's the same with the voyage of the trip around the world. This was my dream, and this was what God was showing me, is my life experiences have shaped me into being the person that I've become. And it's given me a new perception of life. The Chinese people say that your 60s are your second spring of life. And I really, really believe that because I feel in the spring of my own life, all of my life experiences have brought me to where I am right here and now. And a lot of people fold the chapter and they just cave into life and they just live it. But it's up to you how far you want to go, how far you want to perceive. But we're all in a waiting time. We're waiting for that next plane to take us to the destination that we want to go to. And it's the thing, that next job or that next career. It's waiting game. And yet we don't have time, because the time is now. And many of us wait. I also wanted to share with you my dreams. And in the dreams, I had many, many dreams. But the dreams showed me that they actually were there to sustain me, to take me to where I am now. And giving up on my dreams was dying to a lot of the creative side of me. And now I'm waiting. I'm in the transition stage. and I'm waiting on a new plane to take me to the next destination. I wanted to share that with you to help you to see that we're all there together, waiting for whatever dream that we have. But that dream might not bring us to where we want to be. So how do we manage with the letdown, with the pain of letting go of that dream? We have to die to it and surrender. And when we surrender, we let it go, because that dream might have just been something to sustain us to the next destination. Like we might have had to do a sidetrack of, say our destination was Honolulu, we might have had to go to the Bahamas instead. And here we had all these dreams to go to Honolulu, but the Bahamas was just there for us. So you might be in a place of transition. You might be in a place where you have a dream. You might be in a place where you are waiting. But know that you have you. You have you. And in the you, sit. Nurture yourself. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. But most of all, love yourself, because you are in the journey with you. And that's the beauty of life. The journey is you. You become the journey. You are the journey. That's why I wrote Rosie's book, Who Am I? So in finding that inner light within us, we find the place that's prestige. Because light is prestige, light is healing, light is love, light is warmth, light is light. But in that inner light, we find that we don't have to be anybody else, but who we were born to be, that child that came into the world full of laughter and joy. And along the way, hey, I've had trauma, I've had a lot of stuff in my life, but I didn't want to be defined by it. I wanted to be refined by it. That was my perception of wanting to change. If you have liked this video, I know that I'm a chef, but I'm also a life's teacher of my own life. And this is one of the little treasures I wanted to share with you. If you've enjoyed this along and you like it, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao. Hey, be kind to yourself and love yourself, because nobody else is going to love you like you love you.